live and on your side. This is WSAV News 3 today at 6.
And a very good morning to you. It's Monday, July 27th. I'm Ben Katko. Kim has the day off. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 today. Some new developments now on the battle against that wildfire in the eastern part of Bullock County. Crews will continue their operations this morning after they were able to put out many of the remaining hot spots over the weekend. Bullock County Public Safety and EMA says work starts again at 7. They ask everyone to stay out of the area so emergency personnel can work without interruption. As of right now, the fire is 75% contained and about 390 acres in size. Officials also want to thank those who've given food and water to the crews, but they urge anyone wanting to support to reach out to the fire department or the sheriff's office to help coordinate a pickup outside of the fire zone. Back here in Savannah, an arrest has been made in connection to at least one burglary after a string of incidents in the city's Starland district. 63-year-old Reginald Graham has been arrested after a burglary at 1 for the Road. It's not yet clear if Graham is connected to any of the other recent burglaries across that area. We are working to learn more. We'll keep you updated on air and online as that information becomes available. Happening now, Savannah police are still looking for a suspect after a shooting in Fellwood Park left 3 people injured. Officers responded to Fellwood Drive in West Savannah around 10:30 Saturday night after a shot spotter report. They found 2 people shot at that scene. A third person was taken to the hospital in a private vehicle. Officials say that victim was shot multiple times. An occupied car and a home were also damaged by that gunfire. SPD says there was a large gathering in the area at the time of that shooting. Police are now asking anyone who may have any information about what happened to make that call to Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020. Digging deeper now, residents who live at the apartment complexes near Fellwood Park are concerned about the safety of the area. We spoke with Katanya Worthen, whose mother lives inside that building. She showed us the bullet holes near her mom's room after the shooting. Worthen tells us this isn't the first time a shooting has happened at the complex, with the last being this past February. She says she's worried for the safety of her family and wants the community to take action to keep those who live there safe. She says that should start by adding cameras to each of the buildings.
I don't live out here, but my mother do, and my 2 sisters and my niece, and my aunt, my cousins. Yeah, something have to give. They pay to live out here. It shouldn't have to be unsafe like that. Where you lay your head, supposed to be your safe haven. I don't know. It's not safe.
Currently, the only camera at the complex is at the leasing office. 6:03 right now. We'll take a live look out there. A little bit of sunlight over the Bull River this morning. Alyssa Carsley's here. She has your weather on the 3s. Alyssa, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ben. We're already starting off the day warm and muggy, and we also do have a heat advisory that will go into effect later on this morning and continue through this evening. Feel like temperatures, once again, after a brief break last week, could be as high as 110 degrees. So we're back to tracking that dangerous heat and, of course, that dangerous humidity after that brief break with those lower dew points for the second half of our last work week. As of right now, though, of course, it's already so warm and muggy outside. In the 70s at 77 degrees here in Savannah and 79 degrees in Richmond Hill. The only 2 good spots to even see any heat relief is going to be either jumping in the pool or enjoying the AC today, because even across the coastline heading down to enjoy a nice beach day, it stays so incredibly hot with those high temperatures even for Tybee and Hilton Head back into the lower 90s. Overall, still tracking that intense heat index back to right around 110 degrees. That will easily wear you down if you spend too much time outside. So limit your time outside and, of course, enjoy the AC. Find a way to cool yourself off. 98 degrees is the high today in Hazelhurst to 97 degrees in Savannah. But by tomorrow, we could see 100-degree temperatures return once again. But we'll talk about that coming up in just around 10 minutes.
Alyssa, thank you. Following up now, the Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge is now officially a World Heritage Site after the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization voted Saturday recognizing the swamp as possessing outstanding universal value to humanity. We first brought you this story last week on News 3 Today ahead of that vote. This is Georgia's first heritage site and the first wildlife refuge in the U.S. to earn that recognition. Monuments like the Grand Canyon, the Taj Mahal, and the Great Wall of China are also on the list. It's a designation more than 40 years in the making, as the Okefenokee was first identified as a potential heritage site in 1982. The 400,000-acre wetland provides critical habitats for thousands of plant and animal species.
Okefenokee is truly one of one, a vast landscape that is filled with alligators, bald cypress forests, pine islands, and black bears. Unlike other wetland ecosystems, this place hasn't been affected by human meddling.
According to a 2024 study, the World Heritage Site designation by UNESCO could double visitation at the Okefenokee Swamp Park, create about 750 long-term jobs, and deliver $60 million in annual economic impact. Another environmental highlight to share with you this morning: Tybee Island is celebrating a record-breaking sea turtle nesting season, and there's still a couple of weeks left before the season comes to an end. Conservationists say the island has already recorded more loggerhead sea turtle nests than ever before. WSAV's Genevieve Lund live here in studio this morning to explain more about the milestone, which also comes with an important reminder if you're heading to the beach. Genevieve, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. Every summer, thousands of people visit Tybee Island's beaches, but they're sharing the sand with one of Georgia's oldest coastal events. And this year, the seasonal event is making history with a record number of sea turtles returning here to nest, and experts say visitors play a bigger role than they may realize in protecting them. Tybee Island has already documented 52 nests, breaking the previous island record of 35 set in 2022. And nesting season isn't over yet. Nearly all those nests belong to loggerhead sea turtles, which return to the same beaches where they were born to lay their eggs. Researchers expect about 2026 to be a strong nesting year, but they say the numbers have surpassed expectations. With hatchlings expected to begin emerging in the late summer, conservationists are asking beachgoers to help keep the shoreline safe. And that means filling in holes, flattening sandcastles, removing beach gear before leaving, and avoiding bright lights at the night time while also staying away from marked nests.
Likely that we had a banner year this season because sea turtle conservation has really been set in place for a longer period of time now. So once, they were federally protected and then state protected, we had more chances for hatchlings to grow up and become adults who are now able to nest and reproduce.
Wildlife officials say sea turtle eggs usually hatch about 50 to 60 days after they're laid, so some of the first hatchlings could begin making their way to the Atlantic in the coming weeks. If you happen to see hatchlings emerging, the best thing for you to do is to give them plenty of space and let trained conservation teams handle the monitoring. Now, nesting season continues for several more weeks, and environmentalists tell me that they expect the numbers to climb at least 10 more nests before the summer is over. Reporting, Genevieve Lund. Back to you, Ben.
All right, Genevieve, thank you. With school starting back up in Chatham County in a week, students and families are invited to get some practice in on the school bus. The Savannah-Chatham County Public School System says the buses are back on the roads across the county as drivers are on their practice runs. This Friday, students and their parents can ride along on their child's bus route. Those routes will be available to families today on the SCCPSS website. The first day of school is next Monday, August 3rd. And next month, shoppers in the Palmetto State can save some money on back-to-school purchases during South Carolina's annual tax-free weekend. Tax-free items include school supplies, computers, clothing and accessories, shoes, and other school year essentials. You'll be able to buy the eligible items without paying state or local sales tax. The National Retail Federation's 2026 Back-to-School Survey shows a jump of nearly $4 billion in spending for grades K through 12. You can find a full list of the tax-exempt items on our website at WSAV.com/tax-free. Georgia has not participated in a tax-free holiday since 2016. As students are gearing up to return to the classroom, one local icon returned to her hometown Sunday to give back to students in need. Rapper, WNBA star, and Savannah native Flau'jae Johnson was back in the hostess city for the 4th annual Back to School Give Back. The annual event at End Market Arena featured live music, free haircuts, and free school supplies and uniforms, plus a special meet and greet with Johnson herself. 6:09, straight ahead on News 3 Today. Some economists say another price hike on basic necessities could be on the way. We'll take a look at what it means for your wallet after the break.